Thank you, Lloyd. I was waiting.
Did you have a 3 Pro, Dale?
No, I mean, not really.
Not really, or yes or no? There's no not really.
Oh God.
What does not really mean?
No, I actually, yeah, we might have a 3.
That cat.
You want to scout? You want to scout instead of a Caleb? We could have a scout.
What's the cat's name?
Wow.
Scout.
Like,
Scout.
He's like, why am I on camera?
yeah, cats are hilarious. Look at that.
He's
It's
like
what
extremely.
are you
He's like, why?
doing?
He's a rag dog, and he's 16 pounds. He's bigger than most small dogs.
Oh wow.
It looks like
And he'll end up 20 pounds plus.
Oh man, that was cool. Did y'all notice I didn't go batshit crazy when I heard the echo? I realized I had it on over here on the replay, and I turned it off and it go. Oh my God, there's a replay! Somebody check your mic.
How long have we been live?
Probably about 2 minutes. Lloyd, look, wait. Right here, since here. Seriously, and then we got this one and this one and this one and this one, and then I was talking to Angie on Facebook, and there she is.
There she is.
So she's got to go call her. What was wasn't there a James Bond villain that had a cat?
Yeah, Spectre.
But Spectre was the organization.
But I thought that was wasn't that the head of Spectre though? They had the cat, and he's like always petting the cat.
So yeah, but what was his name?
I don't know.
I know.
Somebody
I
in the chat
remember
must know.
Blofeld, but I can't remember if his name was Blofeld or.
I should know this, but I do not know this.
All right, so let me roll back up here real quick and say howdy to the people that came in. Akira's show. I'm pretty sure Jody was here. And he was coming. Look at this. He's got a little one, squirrel toe, and then I came up with this one.
Nice.
Okay,
Only
Steven
from you,
Drones,
Bill.
Steven Drones, Curious Show, Drone Shots. There's Drone Shots again. Steven Drones, Yellow Rose Drones. Glad to have you in here. Maddie's coming back. Tell us having a good show. Thank you, Maddie. Scott Nadeau saying, hey, Dale, Curious Show. Glad to see you. Leonard Oglesby. Glad to have you as well, sir. Rolling. Everybody's talking. And we got the Grumpy Vlogger told us it was time to start the show right here. And that was when I went live. And I even said, thank you, Lloyd, when we went live. Okay. And then Angie's saying, hey to everybody. Covaction's in the chat. Everybody's in there. Artco Drone Solutions is now in the house. And it says, I did notice somebody was talking about that earlier. If you filled the drone with helium, would it make it weigh less? So that you wouldn't need remote ID. Dr. No, Leonard is saying Dr. No is the owner of the furry feline. TJ, what's up? Glad to have you in the house.
You have there?
Light meter.
Oh, very professional.
And we got every professional. Oh. Okay. There's something that I saw. I'm not going to say who said it, so I don't want to. But I thought it was kind of interesting that they brought it up on another live stream. So I thought it would be kind of cool if we came up with a really unique salute to start the show, considering this is an adult show anyway, and we're just bullshitting. Someone was talking about how they were watching a live stream, right? And it was a drone live stream, obviously. And someone on that live stream was scratching their ear and then went, So I thought it
smells like wax.
Yes, exactly. And I was sitting here thinking, well, I've done that. Maybe it was me. So, the thing about it is I'm thinking, I wonder how many different shows somebody on that show's gone. Oh, fuck. So I thought it would just, so we didn't have to worry about it. We all just go, welcome to drone therapy.
A bunch of coke addicts when we do that.
There is that.
That seems like a problem. I don't know.
But is the squirrel? Hey, Dale, is the squirrel a coke addict?
Probably.
No, come on. You don't think so?
Okay, so
they behave as such.
Okay, and as everyone did see, the 18 people here, we were calling this show the 1/1/3 show, and apparently DJI was watching the channel because they began leaking even more information about the Pocket 3. But that's later in the show. So right now we're here in the speculation about how we were actually thinking that 1/1/3 that DJI had bought. What was we thinking? 100,000, 200,000?
Probably 250,000 to 500,000, given all the devices that they put it on.
But we were thinking that they needed that many because they were going to put it on the Pocket 3. But again, as we said before, that would be a discussion where we allude to later in the show, because right now we're talking about the 1 over 1/3 sensor and the fact that it was like, okay, Chuck loves busting my balls about how
Sometimes.
since I have the Mini 3 Pro, why did I get the Mini 4 Pro? And to be completely honest with you, at this point, after everything I know about it,
But you could.
yeah, pretty much.
There you go.
And I was even thinking about picking up a cheap Mini and just like doing all 4 of them, like call it the Evolution series or something, because you can get a cheap Mini usually at Marketplace for like $150.
Oh, probably, yeah. I'm sure they're kicking around. I haven't looked, but they're probably kicking around on eBay. You can even grab one.
You already have a Mini 2 then, Bill?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not to install Mini or Mini SD.
I was like,
but
hey, I got one down here.
not to install not to install the Mini or the Mini SE, but really when the Mini became relevant was the Mini 2. I mean, that's when it got an AccuSync radio, and you could really fly the thing.
Blofeld. I told you Blofeld.
Yeah.
Remember Blofeld? I told you Blofeld.
Yeah. I mean, I have a Mini 2. I never fly it anymore, but it was a really good drone.
Mini 2 is awesome. Yeah, no question. Mini 1
Yeah, keep going.
needed some work.
Well, it's just the radio, really. I mean, the concept was good. Wasn't the camera a little smaller, Steve, or is it the same? From Mini 2
Exact
to
same
Mini.
sensor, probably exact same camera lens. Blah 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 blah. It was, but it only did 2.7K.
That was it.
It was underpowered. Like they had, I had propeller issues with that thing. Right, like the propellers. It was so they came out with a Mini SE pretty shortly thereafter, and I think
That was like the
fixed some of
Walmart
those
edition,
issues, right?
Yeah. Well, Mini 2, I found Mini 3 Pro compared to Mini 2. Mini 3 Pro definitely is snottier. It can and I know part of it this might be an advantage for Mini 4 Pro is that the arms are a little longer, so you have a little more,
Yeah, like the Mini 3 Pro, awesome.
The motors are better.
Like that, fantastic drone, right?
Seriously?
And the 4 is just a nice.
It's a little bump. I mean, if you don't, I have a hard time. I have a hard time dropping my cash on a 4 Pro because I have the 3 Pro. I have 2 of the damn things.
I mean, it's a refinement, right?
It is the D-Log, and I kind of like the D-Log.
The D-Log M. But D-Log M and D-Cinelike.
Oh, yeah.
I know they're close. It's like D-Cinelike
Look at
plus,
this,
kind
ladies
of.
and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look, we have a $10 super chat now from Mr. Ken
Oh,
Harris.
look at you go, Bill. Yeah, congrats, man.
And
$10 closer to your Mini
are you
4.
ready? YouTube says thank you, Ken.
Yeah, what did YouTube
Yeah,
take out of that? About $3?
Yeah, 30%.
I won't see any of this.
Jesus.
Think about it. They don't cut me a check unless it's like, X amount of dollars. So I said, YouTube said, thank you. We'll cash that right now. So let's see.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
Max there, DJ. Oh, Max there. Good to have you.
Hey, Max.
Okay, y'all can talk now. The whole
Bill, are you gonna do a comparison? You should do actually a very interesting video. I know it's been done before, but do a comparison between Mini 3 Pro and Mini 4 Pro. I mean, like, let's see how do similar shots with
Steve
Coutts and
or
D-Log M.
this evening pointed out in his most recent video. They basically are the same exact sensor. It's just the processing pipeline that you, Chuck, yourself speculated was the only upgrade. So what they've done is they've put some more bells and whistles.
They put a stronger CPU on it so that they could do more with it.
Yeah.
But it's the same sensor. That's why it can go to 100 frames a second versus what it could do before, because it's got more CPU power for processing power. It's the same camera and sensor.
But how the arms are definitely longer. So I mean, this thing has picked up some size, yet it's
I think
still
that's
sub
more to
250.
help the signal too.
But it's still sub 250, and like I mean, it's amazing that they pulled it off. They added an LED in the bottom that adds weight. I mean, like they have sensors before, they have sensors now. I don't know if they're lighter somehow, but better, like the frog eye.
Oh, come on, shave a little plastic here or there. It's a little lighter.
And I think they obviously
Ron's still watching baseball though.
They gained something. They gained 2 grams with the new battery, right? Because if you put in a 3 series standard battery, you're over 250 grams.
Right.
So that's probably where they made a lot of the gains.
Here you go.
Yeah, Steve.
Reductions.
He's already done one.
Yeah, because that's actually the brunt of that's the bulk of the weight in the drone anyway, is the damn battery. That's a very good point.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay,
I haven't actually tested it yet. I mean, I do have one. Just unboxed it the other day.
Weigh the two batteries, dude. When you, I mean, for your video or whatever. But
weigh them.
Weigh the.
They are lighter. I mean, they look identical. This is the. Oh no, that's a 5+. That's a plus size guy. They look identical. They all fit, but yeah, I can't remember. It's like, I don't know. It's quite a few grams lighter. The specific 4 one, but they same package.
Yeah, this is a 4 specific.
Supposed to be 3 grams lighter.
So is the battery rating the same? Are they the same number of milliamps?
No, the 4 actually has more
poop in it,
watt
huh?
hours or whatever. Yeah.
Wow, more amp hours.
Yeah.
Watt hours or whatever
It's
it is.
crazy.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Wild.
We were talking about the 1/1/3 sensor. What is the difference in what goes on in the Air 3, the Mini 3 Pro, and the Mini 4 Pro that would separate the models? You understand what I'm saying? Is there something? Is it just something that DJI has simply put into, say, the Air software that gives it another gimmick? Or since it's the exact same sensor that was originally in the Mini 3 Pro, what are they really,
the main sensor on the Air 3
sensor and the glass
stacked.
are different. Sorry.
It's been okay. Steve can tell you this. It's been stacked since the Mini 3 Pro.
Yeah.
So
did you guys look at that? Did you go look at that? You watched the video?
I did.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the whole thing that kicked it off for me was like, the Air 3 comes out and everybody's talking about this new stacked sensor, but you go to the website and the specs, like everything is the same. Sensor size, pixel size, the amount of pixels, resolution, like everything is like bang on. So that's got me curious. And there was no word of stacked anywhere on DJI's website. So, I go on the hunt, right? And I trace down this sensor that matches all the specs on OmniVision's site. And this I think this sensor came out in like 2020 or something, or 2021. And what do they say? Stacked die technology, right? So certainly not new. But in my opinion, it was like DJI had to make the bump down from a 1-inch sensor to a smaller sensor on the Air 3 more marketable, more palatable, right? People don't like that, right? We had a big sensor, now we have a smaller sensor. Well, that's no good. We're going to be all unhappy. So they had to make it sound better.
and it's only better if it's low light. If you're in broad daylight, stacked versus non-stacked, it's going to be virtually identical from a video perspective.
Yeah, the low light performance is where, that's where it shines.
But yeah, you take a look at Mini 2 footage and then take a look at Mini 3 Pro footage at night. It's like literally night and day. There's so much less noise. You've got unbelievable image quality. So yeah, obviously there was a big bump from, in between those two sensors. So pulling more out of it, they're all stacked, was what I'm saying here. And pulling more out of it, like Rod said earlier, they needed more horsepower. They needed more CPU, more juice to get more out of that, more processing to dig a little bit more quality out of it.
So each drone has a more powerful. And congratulations on that can of whoop ass there, Ron.
At the 2, we came back. I recorded the whole game with the Pocket 2.
Well, it's been a short game. It's only good for about an hour and a half, I think, on a good day.
Well, I used the extended battery, the plus battery.
Oh, if you look at my videos, you'll see the USB cable that's plugged into the back of it through a power pack in my coat most of the time. Keep it going.
Here's the baseball thing here. I only record the action, so when the baseball game was action, so I only needed about a half hour to get all the action.
The question is, aren't you closer to the Mets or the Yanks than you're the Phillies?
No, I'm in extreme south. I'm in extreme South Jersey. If I got my car and drove west, I'd be right. I actually be a little north of the ballpark.
Got it.
So yeah. New Jersey's like two different states, North and South Jersey. North Jersey roots for all
Not
the New York
familiar.
teams, and South Jersey roots for all the Philadelphia teams. There's an exit on the turnpike where it changes from Giants. I mean, from New York.
You know, it's that way in Ohio. It's about at Columbus. North of Columbus is the Browns. South of Columbus is the Bengals.
I heard you had to sign that when you went into the DMV. I will hereby pull for the Philadelphia Phillies if you will grant me the right to drive a car.
And I know the Braves are one of the most popular teams in the country nationally, so I don't want to get mad here by promoting the Braves loss. But back to what you were talking about. I don't want to disrail the show with my Phillies talk.
Oh, well, I was the one that brought it up, so it was okay because I said you brought up that can of whoop ass. We were just talking about. Steve was just we were all talking about, and what I was about to go into before you popped into. So basically, we've got the exact same sensor from the Mini 3 Pro, the Mini 4 Pro, and the Air 3. It's the exact same 1/1/3 sensor. Okay. Is there a different board in the Air 3 that gives it more horsepower, or is it the exact same one that's in the Mini 3? Or it's not the Mini 3, but the Mini 4. So that's what I'm more curious about, is the same board in the Air 3 that's in the Mini 4 Pro.
Because the Air 3, to my eyes, and anybody can disagree with me, looks slightly better than the Action 4 and the Mini 4 Pro. Slightly.
What's under the hood of these things, chip-wise or board-wise? Because, like, I imagine the boards are different. I think the Mini series has picked up silicon on chip, which saves a lot of weight and space, right? The way they run hotter, but
yeah. I mean, you go back to I think back to my Mini 3 Pro review, and one of my sort of conclusions was like I felt like it was underpowered, like CPU wise, right? Because if you go to DJI's webpage for the Mini 3 Pro, you scroll down to the bottom, you've got all these caveats. I can only do HDR, 4K HDR 30 frames per second. I can't do active track over 30 frames per second, all this stuff. And to me, all that felt like was horsepower, not enough horsepower. So that's been, when the Air 3 came out, you go down, you scroll down the bottom of that page. Well, there's no caveats. It can do all this stuff, right? It can. So they beefed the horsepower on that guy for sure. And then same with the Mini 4 Pro. There's just like, it can do all that stuff. It can do 4K 60. It can go 4K 100.
Whoa.
And you don't have any active track limitations on that.
That's what I was just going to ask you, Steve.
The same way, it's not handicapped.
Oh crap! They're going to get my money. They're going to get my money. Are you telling me I don't have to film in 24 frames per second? I can use active track stuff like Spotlight and all that good stuff?
Yeah, I believe it goes up to. I don't know what the limitation is, 60 or something.
Because like Mini 3 Pro,
I think you could do everything on the Mini 4 Pro. You could do everything in 60.
Yeah, Mini 3 Pro, I tried 48 frames a second because that's usually what I run my drones in, and it was like I couldn't use Spotlight, I think, which pissed me off.
Yeah, but if you remember back to the Mini 3 Pro when it came out, people were kind of worried about heat, right? If you turn on the Mini 3 Pro, let it sit on top of your desk, it will overheat in about 15 minutes. Take it outside, put it in the air. As long as those props are spinning, it will not overheat. And so maybe my idea or my thought was that they bumped the CPU down a bit because they didn't have any onboard cooling. So they were like worried, we're pushing to, chip too fast and it's going to overheat in the air and God knows what will happen, right? So maybe, maybe they got a better, maybe they, the vents on this thing did get, they refined some stuff, right? So maybe they've got better cooling so they could bump up the processor. I don't know.
I know all that stuff like a heat sink adds weight.
Wait. Just a split second. People like John was wanting to know where Caleb was. Caleb isn't here because tonight is his anniversary. Okay,
anniversary.
Terrible
anniversary.
So he's out with his girl.
Sorry.
Yeah. So
and Chuck, I could guarantee. I just did it. Yes, I was testing the Mini 4 Pro with that new 360 active track, and I had it in 4K 60, and even that new fancy 360 active track worked in that setting.
Yeah. Damn it all. I just don't want to carry around a second RC Pro type controller. So like, I'm a little sad. What was that?
Get the 5 Pro, Chuck.
Well, that'll be in a year. So I probably will skip. I'm gonna
Right?
skip a I am definitely skipping a generation
need-
because I
You need to.
I can use the Mini 3 Pro as my backup to my Mavic 3 and Mavic 3 Classic anyway. So like, yeah.
Like I got some guys commenting on some of my videos saying they're gonna maybe bump up from their Mini 2, and I'm like, man, congratulations, you guys were patient.
They were
You know, you
patient.
waited it out,
They
and
won.
You're gonna.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They won.
Yeah, they totally won, right?
did right.
Like the 4 Pro is good. That's the Goldilocks of the Mini line. That's the Goldilocks drone of the Mini line so far, right?
So
That's
far,
the
yeah.
Bingo Bango perfect drone.
Steve, I'm going to take it further than you. Every time you flew a Mini 2, Mini 3, didn't matter. It always felt like you were flying a Mini drone. Even the way it handled the air, you were always a little more careful with it. I don't get that with the Mini 4 Pro. The Mini 4 Pro just feels like I'm flying a drone. It doesn't feel like I'm flying a mini drone anymore. It handles itself in the air as well as the Air 3 does or whatever. I don't even worry about it in windy conditions and so on. It doesn't feel like a mini drone anymore when it's up there performing.
Yeah.
The Mini 3 Pro, when I took it to Iceland, you guys know my sad story. That's why I have this arm off a Mavic 3 because it got black sand in it and became garbage, paperweight. Anyway, I flew the Mini 3 Pro the rest of the week because that's what I had. And I tossed that thing up in places where it was crazy windy. And it was going like this and stuff, but I'll be damned, the footage is pretty good. So like,
I agree. The Mini 3 Pro is no slouch, but
the 4 is probably even better though.
Stat wise, the Mini 4
stuff.
is doing better if you look at the stats.
Yeah.
Somehow it just feels better in the air than the Mini 3. The Mini 3 Pro did.
If the arms are longer,
the arms are longer. The arms are a little longer,
and it's chunkier too. Like it's fatter this way, right? You know. It's a chunky beast.
Aren't the arms long? When you have it opened up, Steve, what's your point to point furthest distance from the center line of the prop motors? Look, I bet you it's a little bigger.
Takes a bigger footprint when it's open.
I can do it now. You can.
They look almost identical. Like
I heard the props are the same.
I don't know what you.
Look, they've added the arms on the front. They've added so much mass to that thing. It's amazing they lost weight with the battery. I guess that's how they did it. But
yeah, I don't know.
Only 3 grams off the battery.
But the specs on the website say
a lot of weight, dude.
Longer.
Went on a serious diet. That's amazing.
It's crazy. I can't honestly believe they've packed all that stuff in there and kept it under.
It is remarkable.
It is remarkable.
It shows you what the future holds too, sort of. Because I mean, like, what are they capable? They're capable of a lot more than they even have with the Mini 4 Pro.
Chuck, will the Mini Pro 5 have the second camera on it?
I don't know.
I
don't know.
I don't see it. It's kind of the nice advantage now because it can do the true vertical where the Air 3 can't. The Air 3 crops it, right?
Yeah, I would really. I mean, I hope a mini drone gets a 1-inch sensor at one point. That would be a 4/3 would be amazing, but a 1-inch would be.
So that will
be a 1-inch, not a 4/3.
So that will change. Not real soon, but not too far out in the future distance. Remember, I talked about that the next big change in the camera world. At this point, it's been stacked in your cameras with your Sonys and Canons and all that kind of stuff. They're all working on what is a curved sensor. There's 2 technologies that are coming. One is the global sensor, where it reads the entire sensor in one pass, so we won't have the rubber banding. And then the other one that they're all working on, and they're getting close, from what I understand, is to physically make the sensor curved, so you don't have to have as many lenses. As soon as we get a curved sensor, you will easily be able to do a 1-inch on a mini drone because you won't have to have as much lens. You won't have to have as much lens to deal with because of the curvature, right?
Interesting.
So at that point, they'll be able to make a lighter camera because the lens will be smaller and lighter,
but still a 1-inch sensor.
I mean, that's probably a long ways off. That's good, and that'll be pricey. New
5 years maybe or less.
5 years.
They've already made some test versions of those sensors currently. So
I don't know.
They're in the top of R&D right at the moment.
Well,
Yeah.
5 years is a long time in the drone world. Didn't
Yeah,
think
yeah,
how
no,
many drones
agreed.
could be released
Yeah.
in that
Oh, I
time.
know.
Agreed.
Well,
Forever.
there'll be 10 more minis.
That's
Couple of
true.
SCs
No
in
less
there.
than 5, maybe. No less than 5, probably more.
Oh, no less than 5. Yeah, I threw it out there on
Yeah.
Ron's show. I said the next, the Air 3S will go back to a 1-inch sensor and 1 lens. You heard it here first. That's what I'm saying. Just
That's my
Okay,
guess.
If
put a
these
true
guys can source the
telephoto on
one-inch sensors,
The Air 3 Classic,
oh,
the one you should have waited for.
Air
Kinda like the
3
Mavic
They'll
Classic,
remove,
yes.
they'll remove the telecamera. Yeah, yeah.
That's unnecessary anyway.
Make it
I'm sorry. I
cheaper.
mean, I know a lot of guys love it, but it really is unnecessary. You just get one
But they
big
should have
ass
just put
sensor
a
and get
true
her done.
telephoto lens on that
Dude,
on that sensor with one.
Dude,
We
yeah,
only need one.
Yeah.
right. Seriously, that'd be great. Or, dude, like we talked about, optical zoom, just one lens with optical zoom, man.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
And just like the old
True
like the Mavic
telephoto.
2
True
zoom.
telephoto.
Yeah,
True
Yeah.
telephoto.
yeah. Give me that shit. Take my money.
There was no reason to do what they did, and it probably the weight difference probably wouldn't have been any different. If you take those other 2 cameras off and you put a heavier telephoto zoom that could zoom in and out, you'd have probably had about the same net effect weight wise
Or if
on the gimbal.
if you can get that tech from Apple, man, that you've got that
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, actually, the
that'll
Air-
be the that'll be the Mavic 4 Plus Pro.
Nice.
plus
See,
Pro.
Well, the
that
Air
was
3
a-
didn't the Air 3, if you use, unlike Mavic 3 where it has 2 completely different cameras where the color profiles are different and everything, on the Air 3, if whether you use either one of the 2 lenses, your colors are like the same, right? And that's a huge benefit over the
Right.
Mavic 3.
You do one color grade rather than
See,
2.
Oh my
And the-
god, it's like so much work to you got to go into DaVinci and fight with it to get stuff balanced.
Yeah,
and
to look the
post.
same, like it's the same. Yeah.
And,
Which
and
that
that,
nightmare many
that
times.
rumor
Yeah.
was there with the
What is
Samsung
this?
S24 that they were going to get rid of the 10x telephoto and go down to 1 telephoto camera, and that telephoto would have sort of the mechanical telephoto and only have the 1 telephoto that supported the entire range.
In a
They
phone.
didn't do it, so that probably means it'll show up on the S25 next year. Well, in 2025, sorry.
Yeah. Amazing.
If
So
we
the
can only
phone
get
guys,
Samsung work-
the
if
phone
we can
guys
only
are
get
looking
Samsung
at
make
cutting
the
cameras
drones.
out.
interesting.
I'm suffering with 2 on this thing.
Any of you guys sort of experts on the color management stuff, like the D-Cinelike, D-Log M type stuff?
I'm no expert.
Any?
I mean, I
Like,
use D-Log on.
I played with it all.
I really don't.
I
I
haven't
mean,
gone blind yet.
It seems like their trend now is D-Log with everything, all other than their higher end guys, and but it's like shockingly similar to D-Cinelike, and I don't understand why they don't roll, like, make it all the same so I can edit all my stuff. My 3 Pro does D-Cinelike, my 4 Pro does D-Log M. Well, that's kind of a nightmare, right? Why can't my 3 Pro be D-Log M?
I
as
thought
well?
it was just
D-Log
a
M.
little
I think,
bit more
um,
information, wasn't it?
And
Huh?
that was the change on the Mavic 3 Pro firmware. That last firmware is that they implemented the D-Log M and
Yeah.
HLG on the telephoto lenses, so that you had the same as the Micro Four Thirds
So
Yeah.
I've been
from a color
using
profile.
I've been using Pocket 2 for all my ground stuff for the most part, which is not 10-bit, but
It's D-Cinelike, but not
and
10.
D-Cinelike, and then the aerial shots were coming from Mavic 3 Classic, which is in D-Log, which is insane. And then DJI has you download the LUT from DJI and bring it into like I'm using DaVinci. So you bring that in. So the first thing you do is you throw that you throw that LUT on top of your Mavic 3 footage,
right.
and then you're in the game. Then you're close.
Right.
And then you go through the D-Cinelike stuff, and then the rest of it, and you color grade it and all that shit. But like, as long as your white balance, like I set everything at like 5800, so all my shit set locked in at 5800K
Right.
or 5800.
Any time of day, any scenario, 5800.
That's all I do, and then I can fix it all in DaVinci. I can seriously fix it all in DaVinci. If it's
I
too
don't need
warm,
any of the settings. Nothing. Throw it all away. 5800.
I lock it at 5800, dude, and I just like I'll shift it in DaVinci. I can use because DaVinci's color correction is
I'm a little
ungodly
confused, Chuck.
good.
I lock in at 55.
So you're in the neighborhood. So like
Yeah,
that's,
I'm like Ron. I use 55.
Yeah.
there's no. I'm just saying. I mean,
usually
I picked 58 because actually Al of God, I forgot his channel now.
Chuck, you picked 58.
You mean
'cause
Al
you're
Diaz?
Chuck.
So
No, it was suggested by Al Diaz, and I borrowed it from him.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. yeah,
so
yeah.
here's my secret, and it's
Time to
something
fly,
that I've used
Al,
for
you
a
know,
long
like,
time because I use DaVinci as far as whether you're using log and all that other stuff. What I do is I take a photo using the main camera and sort of get the colors and the white balance and everything kind of, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, this gives me the right color. I will take a photo and then I'll use the log or the D-Log-M or Descend-alike or whatever in the video, depending on whether I need to use that in the video. You can then take that photo and the video and put it into DaVinci, and you can copy the color profile from the photo onto the video and make it look like that and make it look like the photo. So you can kind of create a LUT from the photo. So I always do a photo that's like, okay, these are the colors that I really like, and then I can use that as a LUT to throw on top of the video.
Good
Works like a
But what
bloody
I'm saying
champ
is
for
like,
color
like
grading and
I need to address
but-
this. I need to address this, John. The reason is because the cows now have a union.
oh yeah. I was gonna say the reason if you use all DJI stuff, like I tend to, except for Lori's Sony, which is the redheaded sheep of the family, or black whatever, black sheep of the family. Anyway, redhead
Put the
stepped
bag
out.
away.
Yeah.
If I do 5800 on all of them, then the cameras all kind of behave similarly. So in post, it's just less work.
Come on,
But,
the DJI is the Sony IMX sensors anyway, so it's still Sony.
But the color is
I want
way
to address
different.
Steve. I want to
Color's way different.
address Steve's original comment here for a second about the Descend. Like Steve, I believe we've seen the last Descend like DJI device. I think going forward,
I think it's over.
All going to be D-Log-M. I don't think they'll make new equipment with Descend.
Yeah, would agree.
But that seems to come with 10-bit. Like Pocket 2 doesn't have 10-bit, whereas like the Action
Pocket
3
better
and
have
Action
10-bit, Chuck.
What Pocket 2?
Pocket 3.
Pocket 3 does, but Pocket 2 does not. And then like the
how
Action
is your
3 and
Pocket
4.
3, Chuck?
He's not real thrilled with it yet.
I don't have it yet.
A couple more firmware updates, he'll be happy with it.
He's just not talking about it yet. He's under DNA.
You said that 10-bit color confidently. Like
Yeah, he's under DNA.
With it.
I have
He
read
already
about
has
it.
it on
I
1500.
I don't have one. I wish I had one. I'd love to, like, if DJI send me one, I'll film
That's
all
right,
kinds
Chuck,
of shit
we
in
know.
London. Send me one.
We know.
He lies really well.
I'll get
Just
Tower
go pop
Bridge
on
opening and
DJI's store
closing, all
get
kinds of
handed
stuff.
one
Give
behind
me a
the
chance,
counter.
man. No, anyway. No, really, it's rumored that it's going to have D-Log, and that makes sense. I mean, that's like all the Action 3 and 4 both have D-Log.
Oh, actual D-Log, not
D-Log-M, as a matter of fact, Chuck. D-Log-M, which is easier.
D-Log-M or D-Log?
D-Log.
M, it's the softer one. It's not. I mean, it's not as flat as D-Log is the one that goes
A
like
little bit
almost
easier to play
grayscale,
with.
like when you. It's really like
D-Log-M.
Yeah.
D-Log is crazy. Like without the fake correction in the remote controller, you can't even see anything with it. It's so hard.
Yeah.
You really need to use that. By the way, when are they going to add that to Avata? Avata has Descend-alike, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
And then like, but when you fly in Descend-alike, you can't see shit. So like you're like flying in
You're
a
right.
foggy-
You're right.
So why don't they add the same thing they added to the RC Pro and everything else, where you get like the LUT built in, just so you can
It's
see
gonna
it
come in
flying.
the Avinox.
I guess Chuck, they're too busy working on the Avata 2 to worry
Yeah,
about
is that what it is?
It's
Yeah.
called.
Avata
It's not
1.
Avata 2. It's Avinox. That was the name that was
showed it last
registered
week,
in
yeah.
China.
Interesting. But
Okay,
that is a
so-
bummer because it makes FPVs harder to fly and get you can't use Descend like this. You can't see where the hell you're going.
If you guys didn't know,
But
the
I tell
Avata
you
stuff's
stuff
all on
that
sale
like
right
grades
now.
real good off the Avata.
Oh, the Avata's on sale. Okay, so
Yeah,
here's where we're
with the goggles too, not with the
it's on sale?
antenna.
Here's
So
where
it's
we're
not the
getting our
Explorer
That's a
kit.
good clue, right, Steve? That it's on its
speculated
way.
new
Yeah,
information
that's
on the
usually-
Pocket 3.
Good clue.
Yeah.
Right, and then and a lot of them have been reposting this, but you do realize that you can take a picture and give it to Google, and it'll give
turn
you
it into
back
English.
this.
That's pretty
Oh, I was
awesome.
thinking. I
right
was thinking
there.
I was the only guy who couldn't read Chinese.
So it says basically what it says: the
I'm right there
Osmo
with you.
Pocket 3 handheld gimbal uses but okay, whoa, okay, this might be a big time fake, guys. Can you see this right here? Let me blow it up because it's saying
DJI's enhanced 3-axis gimbal.
no DIs. There's no
That's
DJ.
probably just the translation.
Yeah,
not
that's a little
translated.
translation.
Okay.
error from
DJI's
probably
advanced
guessing.
3-axis mechanical gimbal stabilization technology to achieve stable picture shooting in a variety of scenarios. It uses a 1-inch image sensor to ensure pure image quality in a large light ratio environment. It also supports 10-bit D-Log M color mode, which improves the dynamic range of video images and expands the post-production color grading space. Osmo Pocket 3 is equipped with a unique rotating touchscreen design, which we had Chuck had speculated on that too. So it does switch from vertical to horizontal. You can start shooting by rotating the
Dale
screen.
Speculated
Was it
that,
Dale?
actually.
Okay.
Yeah, because I thought it was removable, and Dale said it looks like it rotates. And so
Okay,
Dale knocked that one out of the park.
Oh, and I think it's coming out at the end of the month. And he's already got the sheet. That's why he can't say
Of
nothing.
course, it's coming out at the end of the month. I'll be like,
That's why he can't say
I won't have it
nothing.
till after.
Anyway, okay,
I
the
get
body
home
is
from
equipped with
London.
3 microphones. Wait a minute. Here we go. Wait a minute.
Yeah, instead of 4. Pocket
You
2
can
is
shoot
4.
by rotating the screen. Through the screen, you can preview the shooting screen, set parameters, easily switch between horizontal and vertical shooting modes. Has the Pocket done a vertical mode before?
No, that's new. It's going to actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
The body is equipped
That's why
with-
the head's a little high. That's why it has a little more space between the
Yeah,
camera.
that's
It made sense. We were kind of speculating that last week. We were talking about how
The
we thought
body
maybe
is
it would go
equipped
vertical.
with 3 microphones to record stereo sound and realize intelligence wind noise reduction. It also supports the connection of expansion microphones or monitoring headphone.
Yeah, but is it going to be simply the 3.5 millimeter connection that DJI uses the cheapest spring steel they can get their hands on? So
I think
that
it's going to be
unplugged all the time?
USB-C.
USB-C. USB-C works out much better for me when I use it with the Action 3 versus Pocket 2. When I get unplugged, I get static. I get all kinds of problems.
Okay,
And
Osmo
Bill?
Pocket 3. Okay, let me finish. Osmo Pocket 3 can be paired with a variety of accessories, such as Osmo Pocket 3 1/4 threaded handle, Osmo Pocket 3 battery life handle, Osmo mini tripod, Osmo Pocket 3 extender. So they're coming out with a new model of this. Wonder if it'll be backwards compatible. That would be cool.
They usually are. Like the tripod that I told you about that they sell for Action 2. Remember that, dude? All you have to do is you get a little adapter and you can put the magnetic top on. You can put your Osmo Action 3 or 4 on that thing and it works just fine. The remote control works just fine on that tripod, just so you know. And I use it all the time. Just so
Bill,
you know.
did it have to do it all handle?
Do
it all handle.
I think that might be your battery thing and all that stuff.
No, I think remember Pocket had to have a separate module for Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, like a little separate thing you push.
The
on
original Pocket, yeah.
Yep, and then they moved that into the
from the 2.
Yeah, and they moved it all into that.
There's that mic port Chuck was talking about.
Oh, I hate that thing. I mean, I love it and I hate it. It always comes unplugged and it screws me. And I have like a silent movie and I have to. Let's not talk about it. But anyway, it's not good. So, yeah, I think there's enough meat on this new one where they don't need to do it all anymore. Just pack it all in the handle has enough room just inherently to put all the shit in it.
If they can do that with an Osmo 5, can't they do that with the Pocket?
Yeah, I think they're well on their way this time. And the fact that now they're doing like SoC and everything, they can pack more stuff on a smaller chip. They're probably okay. We'll see. We'll know soon enough.
The Osmo, will the Osmo 7 come before or after the Pocket 3?
The Mobile 7?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never been a big user of those. I have a 4 or a 5. I've never even used it.
Yeah.
And it's too bad because you can live stream with it, right? You can live stream with it.
Well,
John's on a McDonald's rant.
Oh yeah, I shouldn't have used that.
See,
That was
I
a
don't know
bad-
if Dale
that was a
figured out
bad,
the rotating
metaphor
screen or
whatever.
whether the squirrel whispered in his ear and told him, gave him the idea.
I-
I think it was the squirrel.
Well, Dale's a distributor, and I'm almost wondering if he might have known something but couldn't really say nothing.
There's nothing on that yet.
Ah, okay.
Just blame the squirrel, Dale. Just blame the squirrel.
Or
Blame it on the
Squirrel.
squirrel.
The NDA leak was the squirrel.
Yeah, it was the
Is
squirrel.
that what you're saying?
did we do a squirrel already?
Oh, I wanted to
No.
say thank you to Star TRC. I always thought it was Start RC, but I found out it was Star TRC for the hat for simply purchasing a Mini 4 Pro.
Or is it Start RC?
No, it's Star TRC.
Start RC. Give me a hat and I'll say it right.
I know.
I
No,
would
actually,
like to
my
say it
wife tends to like this hat, so because she can size it down. I just was wearing it because I told Sky that I was going to show it, and I actually did order their 6-pack of filters for the Mini 4 Pro.
Was your expected arrival date?
Well, considering I was talking to him right then, and he made sure they stuck them in a box and sent them right now, he said they would be here in 12 days.
Excellent.
So they're coming straight from China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
Oh,
if you haven't seen the action or the Osmo Action 3 is all on sale right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
A year later.
And Bill, now we can ask my question that I asked you when you posted that up earlier today, which is that 1-inch just the leftover Air 2S sensors?
Or is it a new?
Or is this the cutoff from we're no longer going to have 1/1.3, but now we're going to order 500,000 1-inch sensors and put them on everything?
Maybe.
Or are they going
Starting with the Air 3S.
Yeah, I think the Air
Or
3.
maybe
We know the
Pocket
Air
3.
3.
Pocket
We
3
know
than
the
Air
Air 3S is going to have a 1-inch sensor.
Oh, hell yeah. It better.
For sure.
Yeah,
'Cause-
and
But it
we've
could
been-
be Air 2S leftover sensors that they're just putting on there. You never
I
know.
don't know.
Well, you know that new L2 has the Micro Four Thirds sensor on it, which is still 20 megapixels,
Yeah, the same one, I'm sure.
as opposed to the 1-inch one.
So here may be the giveaway as to whether it is or it isn't. Does the Air 2S have D-Log M? Because remember, this has D-Log M on it, right? It's a 1-inch with D-Log M. So did the Air 2S have D-Log M?
It has D-Log, but I don't know if it's D-Log or D-Log M.
I think it's just D-Log.
I thought D-Log changed with the Mavic 3, where it became kind of more like Dale described it, like this, as opposed to like this, versus D-Cinelike.
I believe it.
As far as bandwidth goes.
Rod, I believe it does have D-Log M. I can't swear. I know it has raw photos. I think it has D-Log M.
Somebody's going to have to take them apart when they get here and figure out whether it's the same
Oh,
sensor
that's an
and
expensive
the Air 2S.
disassembly. Having destroyed a Mavic
He's
3,
got a
I
good
really am
point here.
not going
Look.
through that again. Won't be me.
Yeah, you don't. I mean, how
I'm not
old is
worthy.
that one? How old is that 1-inch sensor? Think about it.
Hello, the new one may be the exact same sensor as before, just done on a different
It's
technology.
not so much. Is it
Yeah.
really the sensor? Is it more that the electronics and everything that are making use of the sensor that matter?
You're saying so that if they put an updated processor and everything in
Depends
it,
on whether they build it on the same die size, right? It could be the exact same sensor. All the electronics on the circuit thing are all identical. It's just built on a smaller die size than what the old one was, kind of thing. Okay, great. That just makes it more power
Smaller.
efficient. It makes it more power efficient is about all it gives to you, but it doesn't really give you that much more capability.
But I think, I mean, you talked about it earlier, Rod. You talked about, what did you say? You talked about the stack sensor or whatever, and like, or new sensors that were coming out. And like, those things don't happen, every day. You're not getting new technologies dropping all the time. Those are kind of, a newer generation. We first had the CMOS sensors, and we went to backlighting, and then we went to stacked die technology. And those are probably, I don't know, 3-5 years in between those. So that, that 1-inch sensor from the Air 3, maybe it's a backlit illuminated sensor. No, it's stacked.
No, it's not. It's
Not even.
none of the. It's not any of those. It's just a CMOS.
So it's even
sensor.
older than that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
maybe there's a refreshed 1-inch sensor out there on the market that they can get that's either backlit or stacked, right? And that would give you instant gain for sure, right? Probably better
Sure.
low light and
Yeah.
a lot of other performance gains.
The one thing about drones that I'm pretty confident in is a lot of the technology from a chip perspective that goes into drones is leftover stuff that hasn't been used in the phones or didn't get used up in whatever phones from that manufacturing year that the drone guys sucked up and then put into the drones. That's why they're getting it cheaper. They're not ordering directly from TSMC, building a new chip, blah, 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 blah kind of thing, like you would with a computer or some other board kind of thing. I'm sure that's how Hubson and them are selling drones. What they're buying, it's like overstock.com from the phone guys in China is where they're getting their parts from that they're putting in there. DJI is probably not any different. They're probably not ordering brand new Samsung
They're
sensors.
just first in line ahead of Hubson.
These are Samsung sensors that have been sitting in a warehouse somewhere that Samsung wants to get rid of.
No, I think DJI has their own, or is buying them, or they're creating their own.
Samsung's building them for them. Samsung's building it,
but I don't think
doesn't have a factory.
Seconds. I think DJI is going right for the Prime. Autel totally could be going for seconds, and everybody else for that matter. But I don't think DJI is.
The camera sensor, I'll bet you is. Some other things, the ESCs, the OcuSync chip, which is definitely theirs because that's one of the differences on the 04 is that communications chip is now a V2. I saw that on MADDDDDDDNESS. So they are definitely having their own die manufactured for them. But as far as I know, they have no silicon manufacturing capability. Not even Hasselblad. Hasselblad outsources it to TSMC and some of the other chip manufacturing guys.
I just think
there's only a handful of people that make chips on the planet.
Yeah,
fair.
Well, even Apple, they're not making their own camera sensors, right?
No. Apple's never made almost anything that they've put in there. They've done the design and outsourced it to be built completely.
Yeah.
And they're one of the largest manufacturers on the planet.
Yeah. So,
or consumer of electronics is what I really should say, because that's how they get what they want, because they buy in such big volumes. Same with NVIDIA, same with AMD.
Right.
You're
Bill,
muted.
are you muted or something?
Back to the Pocket 3. What all features do we speculate might be on the new Pocket 3?
Oh, but Bill, let's start at the top here before we get to features.
All right, go for it.
What's the price guess for you, Bill?
Ooh.
Let's go right to the meat.
Okay, here's the thing.
$499.
We have all looked at the pictures. We have speculated that there's possibly two pockets because some of the pictures show
the Pocket 3 Pro.
Yeah, exactly. They were talking
something like that. Yeah.
So that's
oh
the
God,
thing.
give me a micro four thirds.
If there
on that
is
thing.
two models or if there isn't two models. If there's only the one model with the big 1-inch sensor that can do the vertical and everything like that, we're thinking. Let's see. What's the price tag on the action?
Bill, remember we started
no.
show that this one was $350 when it came out.
Right. It's still $350.
Still $350.
So if you have a 1-inch sensor on there, because DJI likes to do this shit, the 1-inch sensor won't go vertical. The smaller one will. Just to piss you off.
That's a good point, Chuck.
Because then they won't have the room. Like if they put the bigger sensor on their head, I'm just guessing they won't have the room to like have it rotate, which I don't give a shit about personally. But like,
and here's the other part of all of this.
Yeah,
TSMC last year raised all their prices 30% across the board for any chip that they manufactured.
Now,
so
Ryan, you're not saying
you're guaranteed the price is going to go up.
They're not going to pass those price increases over to the customer one day.
Of course they are.
Yeah.
So like,
the Pocket 3 Pro is $499.
So what's going to be in the
$499?
so there's the regular the Pocket 3 and there'll be the Pocket 3 Creator probably at least one of the cameras.
How much is the GoPro 12? Just as an example, how much is the GoPro 12?
$399.
That's apples and oranges though. This is a different.
So
I mean,
it's going to be more expensive than
Pocket's
that
a
thing
very
for
unique
sure.
device. It's a very unique device.
No,
as
it's going to be
opposed
a
to
lot
regular
more
action
expensive
camera.
than that for sure, right?
Because now you can actually use proper filters on the Pocket and actually get like motion blur and stuff. You can't do that on an action camera.
Well, Ron,
Well, here's
I think when the Pocket 2 came out, it was the equivalent price of whatever the
laughing, Bill, it's
GoPro
true.
was at that point. So they
No,
were
I'm-
about the
I'm-
same price.
I'm laughing because
in
Steve's not getting to talk
2020.
much.
Let's let Steve talk because Steve sat up there and he's like, "Yeah, let Steve talk."
I was kind of curious what Steve's impression was on this 1-inch thing because we've all speculated about it. We've done it for 2 or 3 shows now because we've all speculated it may have a bigger because the minute we saw that extended neck, we thought bigger sensor.
Yeah.
You know what? I hate rumors, to be honest with you. I hate leaks,
so much
rumors,
fun.
all that stuff. I hate them. They take all the fun's gone now.
Good
You
marketing.
know, I mean,
I
for stuff
They
like
turned out to
sure.
be correct.
Huh?
But to me, it was like because when I was really, really tiny, I loved opening the packages at Christmas, right?
That's me.
Right. Okay.
like to
But
be
then as I got a little bit older, I wanted to know what I was getting before Christmas. So I became a pro at opening up presents, using what was in said presents, and then putting them back in it and opening it on Christmas morning going, oh.
Yeah, but does
Same.
anybody think these are leaks anymore? You know, this
Oh,
is
no. It's
You know,
DJI's marketing scheme.
this is
We've-
guerrilla
Yeah.
marketing. This is like gets
Yeah.
everybody pumped up. You know,
And there's one really
Yeah.
interesting question to ask yourself. Given what the Pocket is, and hey, it's supposed to fit in your pocket. I question why they didn't use the RYYB like Autel did on the Nano Plus.
Because
that's a 1/1
That's a 1/1
That's a 1/1/3. That's a 1/1/3 though. It's a
Mhm.
0.8 inch
But isn't it only one-
RYYB, and I tell you that thing is every bit as good at low light as the 1-inch sensor on the Light Plus.
Okay.
End
but
of story. The
Isn't
RYYB
it
is
just that one
good.
company that makes that chip?
Huawei.
Yeah, just one.
Huawei was the first phone company.
Is that the
used
problem?
That chip.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's the issue right there. Was why we
Then
don't
how
have
did
that
Autel
much-
get their hands on it?
Because they're a
I
Chinese
don't know.
company.
DJI is a hell of a lot bigger, so you can't tell me that DJI could have
I'm
got
just
their hands on the RYYB. Can't tell me they couldn't have gotten it. If Autel could, then DJI can. Don't tell me they can't.
I'm trying to figure out what this one from John. I like
What
the
if
one
it
he
has
did a minute ago. Where's-
LTE on it too for live streaming?
But that RYYB,
yeah, I
and the
probably finally
0.8
live stream with Pocket,
Mm,
right?
Yeah.
and have
Somehow.
tracking and everything on it. That would be really cool.
The Pockets have tracking. They have face tracking.
Good
apparently.
eye.
I get
You
that.
can
Right.
do
that-
you can do object tracking, but
That's
it's
what I'm trying
always
to
been
say. But if you
it's
can
always-
live stream, then you can just walk anywhere with your mic hooked to you, and it will follow you.
well,
So
it-
you've got
yeah,
perfect
face
live
tracking.
streaming.
When you have
It's
two
the
people
s-
though, that it doesn't work that great. Trust me. As a
Hey,
vlogging couple channel, it's a bummer when it tries.
It probably
to track on
works
one of
like it does in the Mimo app, right? It's probably the same code that's inside the camera that's doing that
Yeah.
the head tracking.
the head tracking. The
Hey,
object
Chuck, is,
tracking
is the
struggles.
Pocket
Sorry.
2, is the Pocket 2, is it fixed focus or autofocus? Like an
Didn't he
autofocus
say he
line?
was going to make it? Yeah, he's he's
It's-
home.
You can set it to
It can't
continuously
come in.
autofocus.
But it's an autofocus lens.
Yeah,
not
unless you
like
screw up
the-
like me and like lock it, and then you get shit stuff. I mean,
Can you manual focus with the Pocket 2, Chuck?
No, I don't think so. You can set it up. I think you're supposed. I think it's best to use the vlogging camera and continuous autofocus, but you can. The other mode, I believe, focuses like when you turn it on, it focuses once and then it locks it, if I'm not mistaken. But like AFC is the way to go with that thing.
Right.
You think Pocket 3 is going to have like more like a Mavic where you can dial the focus? Maybe it's-
You don't want that.
It's big enough that you can.
You don't really
zoom
need it on a
bigger.
vlogger camera. It gets to be a pain in the ass. I mean, like you're running and
Exactly.
gunning. You're running and gunning, vlogging.
Exactly.
You don't need to be farting around with shit. And like,
Yeah, exactly.
I struggle with Pocket 2 with dialing in a VND on it because I'm just goofy like that. So
Use
I
case
struggle-
makes no sense
struggle
on
with
that
that shit.
device.
No,
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
I've heard the Pocket 3 has a neuro transmitter chip that they insert in your brain and
Maybe that'd be.
Only the pro
rotate to
version.
the
I
left.
heard that too.
Yeah.
Just
You
take it.
know, it wouldn't
Yeah, you
surprise.
have a dongle that follows you.
That means
It
they'll have to
wouldn't
find my
surprise
brain
me
somehow. Can they find it? I
if-
don't even know.
If they buy the AI chip from Sony that Sony's putting on all their cameras now, which is using AI focusing.
Oh, but you should come on
For
and show
focus.
us. We'd be the first drone live stream where somebody was cleaning dog poop during the live stream.
No, that'd be
Or they'll
interesting.
get demonetized again.
We'd be talked about on another live stream next week.
Free publicity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I don't know about
No,
that.
it'd be tomorrow night on Ken's show.
No, I don't think Ken's still here. He came in early and saw that I had the super chat button, and so he was like, "Bam!" And like I said, YouTube said thank you. So yeah.
Well, I think the bigger screen that we've seen in the
Do you know
leak
that, Ron?
shots
Yes, I
is
have a super chat button.
Oh, congrats.
But
The obvious
Ken
answer
Herring
is
gave it
it's
to
going
me.
to be a much better device, which is great.
one super
It-
chat.
it's going to pick up a little bit of size. It won't be quite as portable, but power wise, I mean, I struggle with it in low light always.
We're
you know,
talking about
going
the
to-
power wands and stuff too. We don't know for sure what all that stuff is.
I don't know, but I mean, but that's the other thing. Like I have to I bring a portable power pack with me and run a USB cable to it.
Well, that
USB-C in the
one
back to
looked
keep
like
it
what we were
alive.
talking about last week, that they got one that the hand is got the battery in it. If you go
Yeah.
back to that, Bill.
And if it can have
For
a
the
wider,
accessories?
if it can have a
Hang
wider
on.
field of vision out of the box, that would be really
Without
nice. 'cause
have to
then,
put
like,
the wide angle lens on.
I'll just go
I
straight.
don't. I tried using the wide angle.
Igor
It's-
Igor.
it kind of made it weird and flat looking, so I only used it once. Like Lori and I were sitting across from a table in a restaurant, and I put that on so we could get us in the shot, and it just looked really weird. So like, you know what I mean? It just looked like flat, bizarro.
Make sure we got that. Okay.
The
So-
English translation.
I was gonna say, don't be showing Angel's pictures.
No, I'm going to go all the way back to where we were looking. See right
There
here.
it is.
Here, right here. So we were looking at this, and we're like, "This is a different camera," but you could see it says Pocket 3. Right?
And there's a little mic hole
There's
there.
a mic port right there. Yeah, obviously.
Well, there's 3 instead of 4, according
and
to
this
what I
is where
read.
Dale figured out. This is where Dale figured out that it rotated. Remember?
Mhm. Yep.
This is the one that Dale figured out that it rotated on.
Mhm.
Here's my thing, though. There's no way in hell this one's going to turn on the vertical.
I think
Right.
there's
Well,
room.
in that angle, it's hard to tell.
Come on, Chuck.
dude, it's
It
hard
does-
to tell from there.
As compared to hang on. All right.
Other
Okay,
than
you're
the
saying-
standing one, the one on the
The
beam.
other, I mean, the other, yeah. in that
The other one's
angle-
got room. That one's got room.
Yes, that one. I
And
mean, that
one
picture you can
is
see
also
clearly.
That's what I'm
probably
trying to
the
say. There's
Battery pack.
Yes, the big extended battery.
The big
pack.
extender battery pack is
Right
this
there.
one. That's the battery.
Remember,
pack.
things don't always look the same at different angles. Think yourself in the mirror when you.
I
look
don't
at
think
Yeah,
yourself
but
in
that's
the
wider. That's
shower.
got the
This
battery.
is-
in
this
it.
is-
Just saying. So
There's-
like,
That's no optical illusion, Chuck.
it's I can't tell. I don't know.
I think it's the same size, or there's enough room there. Also, look at thinking about the handle on like the Osmo 6 here,
It
whatever.
does look like there's a motor in the back side of it though that can rotate it like 90 degrees.
It's chunky and big like this, you know.
They can handle it.
Yeah,
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
but that's got the battery in it.
Oh yeah. I actually. Yeah, the selfie
See
stick
that
for the
mount,
Pocket
that
and Pocket
handle
2
is the
series
one that's
pretty-
got the battery in it.
And this has got, this has also got the handle, so right, or the extension built into it.
Yep.
Mhm.
Well, Insta360, the company that I don't really care much for, has a really nice powered selfie stick too that I use for other stuff.
And you want the
'Cause,
English
like-
translation, so we'll bring that back over.
Because
Mm.
it specifically mentioned the handle with the battery in it.
Yeah, that's cool, 'cause
in accessories.
Because I think the thing's gonna. Typically, the pockets are good for about an hour.
You think I'll have a built-in battery again, Chuck? Not non-removable.
I'd love the removable battery. But I don't know, dude. I haven't seen any pictures that are.
See, it
evidence
says
that it's gonna
Osmo
have that.
Pocket 3 battery life handle.
Yeah, and then there's the
That
the
one.
3/4 inch threaded handle, which I'm like, what?
Yes. So it's going to have 2 handles that you can.
Well,
use.
my do-it-all handle's threaded.
Yeah, exactly. But then
I just really-
they're leading you to believe that the battery life handle is the do-it-all handle.
Okay.
So it'll be hopefully if you have the extended battery handle on it, there's still a USB-C port so you can plug in your DJI mic system, because that works with the action cameras. If you can figure out a way to push, you can't have it in a cage, but it works like Action 3 and 4 if it's just the camera. So that you can have a nice positive connection for your receiver for your DJI mic system, and then we're playing with fire here. We got something good.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and
so
that's-
that one
you
at
can use
the
that here,
water has
Chuck.
got to be
You
that
can use
wider.
that DJI mic here, Chuck. You can use.
Wait,
that
what
DJI.
you're in small screen there? What do you?
I know, but it's the Mini 4 Pro controller, and you can actually screen record and record your audio right there straight to your.
You plug in. You use the USB-C port and plug it in.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really worked for everything. Shame on you, DJI. But that's another story. Because the old smart controller that was used with the Mavic 2 series and later Mini 2 has a built-in mic in it.
Has a mic, yeah.
It had a proper mic in it. So screw you, DJI, for taking that out on purpose. You know,
I'm figuring we're going to hear next
go on
weekend.
and on about that shit.
I'm figuring we're going to hear not this coming weekend, but sometime during the week of the 15th through the 21st. We'll hear when they're going to release it. We'll get the leak of when they're going to release it.
Well, the leak is what?
17th.
October
24th.
That's what I'm thinking. Is the 24th
Tuesday the
or the
24th?
25th? I'm thinking 24th, 25th, somewhere in there.
They want this out. They're going to push for it to be a family tool that you can have at your Christmas and holiday parties, so that you can have.
So by Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's going to come out right then. And they want to get you before you spend that Black Friday Monday on.
And that's why it'd be $4.99 so that you buy theirs first.
So
and you can't buy everybody else's.
But yeah, it's going to be whatever. What was the pocket to begin with?
329. Was it 350? That was like 329 or 339 or something.
I think this one's going to be. I think this one will actually be with the 1-inch sensor $499. Ron, you were wanting your number. That's what I think it is.
Without a creator kit, just the camera.
No, just the
camera.
camera.
The 1-inch. Yeah.
You think it's too much,
Yeah.
Steve?
Lower.
That sounds about right.
What do you think? What do you think, Steve?
I would expect.
Okay,
creator
wait a
kit
minute. I
to-
guess it depends on what.
I think creator be
wait a minute,
$549. I have no
is.
idea what the basic one will be.
I don't know the pocket pricing at all. I don't have one. But year over year, so I went from Mini 3 Pro RC remote to a Mini 4 Pro RC2 remote. It was $10 difference year over year.
Yeah.
$10 extra.
And on top of all that,
It's the same size.
since
Sorry?
the Action 4 and the GoPro Hero 12 are $399, and the Insta360 products like the X3 or whatever, they're like about $449. I think it needs to be in that same ballpark between $399 and $499, or else people. I know Chuck is a different camera and all that, but people are real price. The general public is real.
No, I'm price sensitive too.
They're
I
not
think
gonna pay
I think you're
more
right.
than they can
No.
for these other devices. It needs to be in that price bucket.
Another reason,
4,500 is probably about right.
another reason to
500?
have two cameras.
What?
Oh,
One
for
at
two different price points.
$399 with
Oh,
the regular 1/1/3 sensor, and one at $499 with the 1-inch sensor. And wait, Chuck, if you have those two choices, which one will you take?
The
While
1-inch
Chuck's thinking
sensor.
here, Bill, to do that,
The
the
whole
average
is-
customer's going to have to
Well,
see the
actually,
difference between these two.
it-
I get that, but here's the thing:
Now.
DJI comes out. We're coming out the 24th, and DJI says,
Ooh, this is a perfect birthday present.
The
Who's
upgrade,
going to
the
buy
up-
me one for my birthday in here? It's like 2 days later. Somebody has to buy me
Chuck's
one.
going to
The
be backing
upgrade
the
to the
dump
pocket,
truck up
too.
and
We give
pouring the
you-
money out. Whatever it is.
they'll call it something like New Vision dual choices or something, and it'd be like the regular standard pocket that me, of course, I'm the only one now that's speculating that it's, there's two versions, but you could very well do that to please, like what Ron is saying, or what everybody else is saying, the cheaper model, like Steve's saying, oh no, I'll go up maybe $50, but he's saying $10. So, but I'm still going to say $50. We'll say there's a $399 with the 1/1/3 inch sensor, which is still going to be an upgrade. You're going to have the 1.7, and then you would have the 1-inch on the big one. Okay, Steve, what?
What will the f-stop be on that one?
They're just gonna that all everything you've seen so far, the leaks, it's all fake, they're just going to take that gimbal from the Air 3 and they're going to jam it on top of the Pocket 3, and now it's going to be the new guy. Woo, right? 1/1/3, and you're just going to rock that bad boy, Chuck. Telephoto.
You
one
know,
over 1/3 would not be
part-
disappointing. Actually, Steve, that would not be disappointing. If a 1/1/3 sensor on
Hey,
a
man.
Pocket would be pretty bad.
That is one of my disappointments,
especially
with
an
the Mavic
f1.7.
3
I mean,
Pro,
that'd be great.
Is the camera is not replaceable, right? But what you just said makes a hell of a lot of sense, where you could have
Whoa.
a removable camera
Whoa, a
that you could put
magnetic
on your
removable
drone
camera on
and
top,
then take
pop it off, and
and
put the
put it
1
on
inch
the
of the.
pocket so that you
Yeah.
have the same camera color profiles.
Like,
Oh,
when you look
everything.
at all those pockets,
I'm gonna have to stay sitting down
those,
now.
those early pocket cameras, and you look at the minis, the gimbal mechanism on the Mini 2, like, or the minis, this is like it looks
Yeah.
like the same. You're looking at the same thing.
Oh,
right?
yeah. The Mini versus the Pocket looks pretty similar.
And Rob, but you suggest it's already been done. There was an older drone company that did that years ago. Had a removable camera that you put on a gimbal and then put it on the drone.
You know who has it
Who has
today? You know who has it today?
No.
It's a company that a lot of people don't talk about, but it's one that I still like. It's still keep an eyeball on. X Dynamics. Their
Really?
camera is removable, and they now have a handheld that you can pop their camera on, so that you can
Wow.
use the same camera. X
I would-
Dynamics is doing that today.
I
Wasn't that the
would-
gimmick? What was that? The GoPro? What was that? What was their drone?
Oh,
The
Karma.
Karma.
Karma was crappa.
Not yeah, that's terrible. Right?
Drop out of the Skyma.
Yeah.
Rod, you remember it? Was
Yeah,
it
it was a
last
cool
year's,
idea, though. Cool
Was
idea
it
that
last
you
year's
put
Great
the
Flyer
camera
drove
on.
me up, or the guy flying 2 Karmas that day?
Yeah, who was
Two,
that
I think
dude?
he had like 4 or 5.
4 or 5 Karmas, and they were all flying perfectly.
Yeah.
So having things attached with really strong magnets is a little scary when you're out in the field, because I don't know. I just had to buy
that's
new
how the
Pocket 2
camera
filters again
attaches to
because
the
the damn things
Inspire.
pop off in the field, because magnets are great when they work.
This is totally stupid. But we're sitting here talking about, no Pocket's ever shot in vertical before, but they store in vertical, true vertical. And I'm like, why the fuck have they never given us this? Because this is why we put them away. This is how we store them
100%.
in true vertical.
I thought somebody kind of hacked this, that you could hold it sideways and it did vertical. I thought there was a way to make the Pocket 2 do vertical, but I forget that whole
Now I
discussion.
get the
DJI
marketing.
marketing at its best, right?
I get
They
the
could,
marketing
they just
for
didn't.
you don't for shorts in TikTok or whatever you're doing with that's vertical format. You do not need the higher resolution. You can just film in widescreen, and you can keyframe and crop later on if you want to, because you have way more flexibility, and it's good enough for shorts and TikTok. The whole vertical thing is just stupid.
Yeah.
Like you're taking you have all the space. I say this time and time again. You have all this space in widescreen that you can move, like get shit left and right and pan over and do really cool stuff in post for
Plus,
that
DJI, you
vertical
just-
format that you can't do if you're vertical format, because now you just have this. And then
DJI
you
you
can
just
never
put
think
that
this and
frame
go like
mode
this.
that they just put on all their drones in the Pocket 3, where the frame you could
Hmm.
just line up with the frames and shoot it like that.
I'm just
kids, Chuck,
saying, like,
kids, they're ruining it for everybody. They can't turn
No,
their phones.
so it's not ruining it for
You wait. Your next TV is going to be this format.
oh
Theaters
god,
are going to
no,
be this
I'm
format, right?
Yeah,
I hope I'm
probably.
dead before that happens, because
Yeah,
that's
some
just
great Hollywood movie's gonna be shot in vertical.
Absolutely, Steve. It's going to be in this format, right?
Oh.
Because you'll wear them,
Your
and that'll be
wearables,
your
yeah,
TV.
yeah.
Yeah, probably, right?
Well, actually, I already have glasses like that somewhere. I don't think they're up here, but yeah, I have AR glasses. It's like a 52-inch widescreen in front of me, like heads-up display.
Yeah.
They're old, but they're still great for flying drones because you can see through them. They're clear.
Oh, come on. Have you seen what they've done with HoloLens?
Oh,
for the
it's coming.
Army?
Things are going. Yeah, I don't think the Apple goggles are where it's at. They look just really stupid. But but the concept is good. The AR
Don't
concept. is
discount
really
'em.
Oh, you missed it. We told you happy anniversary to start the show.
We
good.
did.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, because John was like, John's like, where's
That's just
Caleb? Oh, and John, look for a message from Angel. He took pictures for you to see. So he will send you a picture on Facebook. He
And,
sent
and
it-
they're in vertical, though. So you may have to turn your head sideways if you want it the other way.
Yeah, you can tell I'm not a vertical fan. I think Ken Herron and I would agree 100% on that. But
Yeah, I totally hate it. I resisted it for so long, and then I finally started making shorts. It drives me crazy.
yeah, but I
don't
mean,
know.
like, but dude, you can like
But-
I'll actually like taking my regular footage and turning it into shorts because as long as things are framed right, and if like me and Lori never fit in a vertical frame together, so like I can pan over and have
the
us.
advantage of the Mini 3 Pro or the Mini 4 is the fact that it flips in vertical, so you don't have to do it in post. So it takes you less time to
Yeah.
actually get the video posted up in the first place. So
Totally.
it saves you time in editing.
You know,
Do you see what
If
he's
you're
saying?
paying
Yeah,
attention,
this is
you
because he
get it.
discovered TikTok, Chuck.
You know, if you're
He's
paying
really
attention
doing good on
to
TikTok.
composition and all those good things, you know, your vertical stuff can look nice. You know, if you're just
Oh, I
kind
know.
of
No, I've seen some really cool vertical stuff for sure. I've seen cool.
Oh, come on. Do you want to shoot the Empire State Building in landscape or portrait?
Well, that's a very good argument for sure.
So
But
9 by
if you
16
film
is
the
much
Empire
better
State
to
Building,
shoot the Empire State Building. in.
not necessarily. Not if you're in close to the Empire State Building, you do a nice pullback and you reveal it. And you're kicking
Listen
ass
to
and
this.
taking names.
Listen to this, dude. Listen to this.
I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I've seen a few short videos now where guys are like the whole frame is kind of vertical, and then they'll cut over to some footage, and the footage it's shot landscape, but they show it vertically. So you'd actually have to kind of turn your head or whatever to see it correctly. And I'm like, don't make that a thing, man, because that's just
Angel's
can't.
actually done
Terrible.
that from time to
I
time.
can't do that. Yeah,
one of
it's
those
really
goofy-
hard for me.
Yeah,
I think that
sometimes-
may-
yeah, Angel
I'll
don't do
be
that
looking
shit,
like
man.
this, huh?
I know it's
Yeah, Angels pulled that on me where I have to go like this, like, oh, it's really cool. Because he's getting some good stuff. That guy's getting some good stuff.
We're not the squirrel. The squirrel can put his head on the side with no problem.
You
Mm.
forget
rest
that
of us
she
are
tagged
squirrels.
you in that post, Caleb. That's the only reason I thought that, because you said you had a family thing, and I thought it would be really cool. And because it came up on my feed on Facebook that you and Amy had been friends for 5 years, and I was thinking, oh, well, maybe that's about the time that they started dating. So that's their anniversary, and I was like, hey, it's Caleb's anniversary, and that's why he's not here. Because people were like, "Where's Caleb? Where's Caleb?" And I was like, "I don't know."
So Dale, in with your business and stuff, how
Sounded
much
better.
vertical? How much vertical does anybody request?
Not
In
very
any
often.
of it?
Maybe
the video
cell
would be
towers.
better.
Vertical something that like Lori likes to shoot it on her phone. She'll do like some quickie short stuff. Like in Iceland, she was doing some like short stuff on purpose. You know, just
Some
grab the phone and
reels, something
just
like
quick
that.
and dirty.
Nobody's doing it on
yeah, just quick and
anything
dirty.
else.
But most of
Me.
the time, you know.
I don't think
she-
anybody has that for a feature for a drone.
But I wonder though if there are two levels of the Pocket 3, if the 1-inch, say there's a 1-inch sensor and a 1/1/3 or whatever. Yeah, maybe the 1/1/3 will do vertical, but the 1-inch won't. Like I was kind of alluding to earlier. Maybe that's
Yeah, I
kinda
can see
you
that,
know,
Jeff.
where they kind of mess with,
Yeah.
because DJI loves to do that stuff. They love to.
Yeah,
like,
but
Hello,
on that
you
beach shot, on that beach shot, that one is out there and it's definitely twisted. The screen's twisted.
yeah, yep.
They're
Or then,
hilarious.
but
maybe
the
it's
other
something
part
cute when you
is
turn the screen and the when you turn the screen, the camera goes
That's
vertical.
what I was
but remember on that
Yeah.
bigger sensor, right? They could they do it in software.
The big
They do the
screen's gonna be
vertical in software instead of actually flipping
Yeah.
the camera.
Yeah, yeah.
the big screen's going to be great. I mean, one of the things that I always struggle with Pocket is, okay, you can frame with it.
okay, I'm just going to continue my
You can't see what
conspiracy
the hell you're
theory.
doing.
I'm going to continue my conspiracy theory
Yeah, bring it.
that Steve and Caleb are never on the show at the same time. Because
What's
I've
up with
brought
that?
it up before that their voices sound very, very similar.
Were you
right?
saying that they'd sound alike if we
And
if
I'm
we-
like,
if
I'm
we,
like,
went
but
like this
they're
with their
never,
cameras,
because this
turned
is
them
the
off,
second
guess who's
time
who?
since Caleb's been on the panel that I've had Steve on.
So Bill, you have to get them out. You have to get them out at the same time, right? And you're gonna like do this like with their cameras. You're gonna hide them, and then you're gonna like make it all black, and then you can switch them around. You can switch them around, and then have guess which frame they are. Like, is this
Have
Caleb
them
talking, or
guess
like,
who's
just hear
like,
their?
we'll have them both read the same thing, and we'll say who was speaking first and who was
Yeah.
speaking second.
Be
But I'm just
hilarious.
saying, but the thing about it is because I
Yes,
was like,
win a prize.
Yes, because if they both, because
when you're Mini 4 Pro.
Steve is always very reserved, and a lot of times Caleb is very similar to that. So his sometimes you have to listen closely, but their voices are very similar. So I've even pointed it out before.
I think you're just more deaf, Bill.
Oh, okay,
That could be a problem too.
Okay, but it seems to be that. But here again, to continue my conspiracy theory, they're never on camera at the same time.
But Caleb's in the chat right now, correct?
That doesn't.
Well,
come on,
maybe
Ron.
He's,
Come on, Ron.
he's in semi-stealth mode.
He's typing with his toes. Come on, he's
Tapping with his toes.
ambidextrous.
Actually, that's what I was going to say, Bill. When you showed the s'mores earlier, I was asking.
He's eating the
I was going to
s'mores.
ask you why you're not eating with your feet.
Ooh, s'mores.
Oh no! It's this thing that I found at Costco. Since we're already going Squirrel and we're down to 14
We should stop
people.
now. Yeah, we should get back on track.
No, it's
We had
okay
good-
because
we
we're
had good
getting
stuff
close
going.
to 7. We're getting close to 7 o'clock anyway. But
mean
those
10
I found
o'clock?
those at Costco, and they're phenomenal. They used to have this like it was can't remember what it was before, but it was just s'mores, right? It was just the graham crackers, the chocolate, and marshmallows. But now they've added caramel to the mix, so it's caramel s'mores. So it's even more sugar to take into your system. But it's like Dale was typing in earlier. He's like, "You're going to finish that whole bag," and I was like, "Nope. I only get 4 a day." And I waited all day long before I ate any of them. I did not. Usually, I'll eat 1 at lunch, and then I'll eat like 1 as a snack, and I'll have 2 later on as my late night snack. But
Is
I
there
did
anything at Costco that you won't snack on?
not,
Probably.
Yeah,
Kind of
some
stuff.
stuff.
Kind of stuff.
There's some stuff I walk by.
Yeah.
I've noticed that there. Oh, something I wanted to tell you all. This was so fun. It was wild. Okay, I bought my Mini 3 Pro from Drone Nerds, right?
Okay.
Yep.
So today I get a phone call from Drone Nerds in Florida saying, "Hey, we're just reaching out to the people who bought the Mini 3 Pro from us, seeing if there's anything we can do to help you or any merchandise that you might like to discuss with us."
Like a Mini 4 Pro.
Yeah, and I was like, too late.
They have my Mavic 3 at the moment. They said that they're close to looking at it.
Oh,
Still in the queue.
table for Kovac, for Kovac. Table
Hey,
for
hey,
Kovac.
Chuck, just so you know,
Right?
it's so much easier just to send it right to DJI and so much cheaper.
I don't know. Like I said, it was
Okay.
DJI,
the whole
if it's
thing is
so-
my fault. This is entirely my fault. I'm just
I
No, it's
crashed
gonna
a
cost me.
Matrice 30T.
so
It cost
frustrating.
$392 if it wasn't covered by DJI Care.
Wow.
That was
Well-
2 broken arms, a broken frame, ejected batteries.
Oh wow.
We'll compare notes, Dale. Maybe we can do a video on it, compare the expense. Even though it's apples and oranges, we can still do like a
Just remember, Dale, he's
Yeah.
got that dump truck full of cash sitting in his backyard.
We
I
have
wish.
people
Where is
bringing
this
in
dump
Mini-
truck?
Mini 3s and Mavics and stuff.
New York.
And the most expensive one I'd seen at all was like $700 for like a Phantom 4
Yeah,
that literally
see,
sat out in the rain for a year.
Yeah.
Even Stevie's saying
See,
best. It's a good deal.
Hey, real fast, going back to the Pocket 3 for a second.
Okay.
Well, if it has a 1-inch sensor, will it have 5K video like the other 1-inch sensor type?
I mean,
I
like
don't know why it
5.3 or 5.1 or whatever.
Was it? I think it was a 5.
Yeah,
was
I
it?
don't care how they round that 5K off. I'm just
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
call it 5K.
Well, that'd be
Yeah.
great for that. Would actually be really that's beneficial for me because you can punch in a little bit. That's cool. But
Yeah, it would be, and it would make the tracking.
especially if it starts off with a wider field of view, that'd be better.
Yeah,
too,
and you just
for
crop
fitting.
that right down to your vertical
Again,
video.
that's
there,
probably
There you
all
go.
the way
It's
down.
even-
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah. Then you have
That's
even
vertical
more. You
ever,
can move
Steve.
like keyframe
throw away
left
most
to
of
right.
that. You don't need it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll bet you that
You like walk
vertical
like an Egyptian.
is software.
Yeah, let's see. That's what Caleb said a little about. We should all just shoot cropped in every shot. Who needs the data? No. Why do you want to crop? Capture a full picture.
Hey, there
Yeah.
was another drone that came out. This sensor that they was announced this week. That's a 61 megapixel that they're using for doing some mapping stuff. But at the same time, it's the Sony ILX, camera. It's like,
Mhm.
when is that going to come to a product near us?
I don't know about the ILX. I heard about the A6700. I have not looked at it. I'm scared to look at it because I have a A6600. I'm afraid.
Anyways, that 61 megapixel is being used
Yeah.
in multiple cameras.
Yeah.
That sensor, and
But put that on.
that's a BSI sensor. It's not.
I'm really,
stacked.
I'm wondering how all the stuff like works out. Like, you know, like data and numbers always look really great on paper, but like, it's like the Mavic 3, the 4/3 sensor gets really good stuff, good detail, and like I don't think it's that many megapixels really, but yet it still
20.
has. Yeah, but the picture quality of your footage is great.
No.
So like what's the difference? Like I'm confused. What's the difference?
What's
Like,
good, Rod? Is that 4/3 sensor on the Mavic 3? Is that like a stacked 4/3 sensor? Like it's on
No,
the latest,
it's a regular
latest
CMOS.
OM
It's a
camera?
regular CMOS camera.
Okay,
You're
'cause
just
you-
getting the
you-
benefit of it being micro 4/3
Because you know,
and being larger.
OM put a stacked 20
Yeah.
megapixel 4/3 in their latest camera.
So what really makes the difference, megapixels or not megapixels, what really makes the difference in the quality is the size of the pixels.
Right. Right.
The
But I
bigger
thought
that pixel, the bigger that pixel size, even though you have less of them, the bigger the pixel size, the better quality you're probably going to get
Especially for
out
low
of that
light
same
stuff.
picture.
see,
Out
I
of that
would have
same picture.
expected. That's interesting,
Exactly.
Rod. Intuitively, I would have thought it was the opposite, right? You squeeze more pixels
Damn.
into space.
Keep in mind what they do with
the
the quad
opposite.
bear.
Oh, you
Keep
see
in
it?
mind
Yeah.
what they're doing with the quad bear sensor. The quad bear is 4 teeny tiny ones put together to
Yeah.
make one bigger pixel.
Yeah.
So if you just had a sensor that just had the bigger pixel, you would get
Yeah.
a better picture.
Yeah, that's
Right.
exactly
Interesting.
like I started off with digital photography, I don't know, back 2010 or something, and one of my best cameras along the way was a Canon 5D Mark II full frame sensor. I got it refurbished. It's
Yeah.
cheap, and that thing couldn't focus worth crap, terrible low light, but the magical pictures that thing took were all due to it had the biggest pixel size of any camera, any
I forget
Canon
what that-
camera
I forget
sensor.
what that size.
wonder-
It's UPM or whatever is the nomenclature on it.
Yeah, microns, and it was like gorgeous. Like when you nailed it with the right lighting, and you actually got focus. Like I've
Mhm.
never had a
When
camera
you got focus.
beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful pictures, right? And it's just, and then they started going to more megapixels because everybody megapixels is better.
Yeah,
And
that
then
too.
your images
Less
start to get more
noise, more
grainy,
sharpness.
and so yeah,
Interesting.
you're absolutely right
Yeah.
on the mark there, Rod.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've had it wrong. I've had it wrong the whole time. But like,
Yeah.
but I know like the proof was in the pudding with like the Mavic 3, because like, damn, like the stuff you can see, like when you're filming, the stuff you can see that I could never see with even a Mavic 2 Pro.
The pixel,
was ridiculous.
the pixel size is better. And you know who preached this message?
No, who?
X Dynamics, before they released theirs, in some of their technical videos talking about their camera, was talking about that they had the largest pixel size in the camera, even though that was a 12 megapixel camera and a micro 4/3, it had the largest pixel
You
size.
just now saw that.
Look
That
at
was
Charles.
pretty gross.
See Charles's comment.
Yes, he was saying. I had it up there a minute ago.
What
Uh-oh.
happened?
Chuck, you did something weird. Camera's not available. Oh, there it is again.
But of course, more pixels are better if they're bigger pixels. More bigger pixels.
Yes,
are better.
exactly.
Sure.
It's equivalent.
Yeah.
But in the same die
1%.
size, right? You don't necessarily, assuming in the same square millimeter size, you want less larger pixels will give you a better result than more pixels in that same die size.
Right.
End of story.
Right.
It's just the way it works.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, you only need what is it for 4K resolution? You only need like 8 megapixels or something.
Yeah.
4K video?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah.
It could do it in 12 for sure.
It's something like that. I could do the quick math on it.
Well, you can't hear us, or you've lost your input, Chuck. Bye, Chuck. We'll see you in a minute.
Chuck's having
Dale's messing with colors. He turned pink for a second.
He's got to reboot. He's got to reboot.
Dale turned his RGB lighting on or something.
Yeah, the Pixels got the best of them there.
I can.
The small
I can
Pixels
do
got
that.
them. Tiny
He was
Pixels-
doing it when he first started, and it just kind of freaked things out.
Yeah.
You need that many pixels.
Yeah,
There you go. A
it
little
makes-
overrate.
Oh, let's talk about
Yeah.
8.2 million.
So yeah,
So,
1-inch
so,
sensor.
okay, on the panel here, who plans to upgrade their Pocket 2 to the Pocket 3? Who plans on upgrading?
Oh, on me. Yeah.
I don't have
me. I don't have one.
I don't have
one
either.
I'm not. I don't count for an upgrade.
Who's just gonna buy straight out, regardless of whether they have an older Pocket or not?
I don't
Maybe,
vlog on
maybe
my
the 1-inch,
channel, so
the 1-inch might be doing that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. That's
1-inch could do you. You know,
Oh yeah.
if Bill's right about a Pocket and a Pocket Pro, and the regular Pocket has the 1/1/3 that we have in all those devices, and it can be
Dale's
broken,
laughing.
I may choose the cheaper one.
I already got a Pocket Pro.
what is that one?
Yeah, I may choose the cheaper one.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. Like we've been the whole show right now was 1/1/3, and up until this week we had only speculated that there was going to be a bigger sensor in the Pocket 3, and we were all talking about it and everything, and then now we were all laughing and making jokes. Oh, the Pocket 3 is going to have what? A 1/1/3 sensor. We all said it at the same time.
Yeah,
It was almost in harmony because we were talking about that. DJI had obviously bought a lot of those sensors because they had done it with the Mini 3 Pro, they done it with the Air 3, and we've all pretty much figured
Mavic
out that
3 Pro, the Osmo or the Action 4, the freaking
They had a
everything that
warehouse
has
full of
come out in the
things.
last year has had that sensor in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because really and truthfully, the larger one with the 1-inch sensor on it and the foldable the turning screen, even so, looks like it would be very difficult for me once you sheathed it to stick it in your pocket, as it were, anymore.
Right.
So that's why I'm thinking that there's a smaller one with that 1/1/3 sensor that's still the Pocket 3, and then there will be a maybe not a pocket thrower. They'll give it some other. Maybe they'll bring back. They'll call it the Osmo, whatever.
The Osmo fanny pack.
What did I miss? I missed good stuff because my computer went tits up
You didn't
on
really.
me.
You
Oh,
didn't
I
really
The
I
show
was-
went. It was off the hook.
I did that last time too.
We went
Probably
Squirrel
way
while you
better
were
without
gone.
me.
I was
Yeah.
diving deep into bullshit,
Oh,
and I was
Bill
I was
with the one,
politely called out on it.
and the one with the 1-inch sensor. Maybe that gimbal doesn't need to flip vertical. Maybe they're just doing a software vertical on the
Like
sensor.
the Air 3.
A crop on the
Could-
crop on the
No,
sensor.
they
They
DJI.
could
Haven't
easily
you
do it on a
noticed?
1-inch sensor.
Haven't you noticed? DJI loves the words true vertical.
TV, true vertical.
So
Well, except when it comes to the
they
Air
like
3.
to put that on their web page, so they would like to do it again.
Yeah.
It could be true vertical in 4K on that 1-inch sensor.
And Bill, wait a minute. The Action 4 has
Yeah,
vertical
there you
video,
go.
but you have to do it manually. You have to turn it. It has that magnet. You can turn it.
I hope I meet him, John.
So you know.
So-
Oh yeah, that's true. That's
So
true.
here's the other guess. So on the Air 3, which does the vertical, right? It's
in software.
It's 2.7K on that 1/1.3. So if you go up to 8-inch, I wonder whether that gives it enough space to make it a 4K vertical, because it's a 1-inch sensor and still do that and still do the software crop. I'll bet it's really bloody close. That you can't.
Didn't that Osmo? Didn't it have a 1-inch sensor? The ancient one back in the day. Didn't
Which-
it have
which-
like?
the one you were the old school original one.
Yeah,
Do you think so? I don't think it did, Bill, but I could be wrong.
I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, I hope
wrong,
so.
but I don't think it did.
I was thinking it had the same sensor that the Phantom had on it. The Phantom 4 Pro had on it.
You could be
Pocket
right.
3 Pro.
You could be right. I'm not sure. I just don't think so. But I'm not positive.
That
Oh,
was
I
a
don't-
bigger
yeah.
device, though. I mean, this.
Yeah, well,
Pocket
that's what I'm
3's gonna
saying.
be-
That's why I'm thinking. Well, because people were laughing when I was saying it could possibly be that, and that would allow the deeper price point would be to have the Osmo Pocket 3 with the 1/1/3 sensor, and then have bring back the Osmo for the serious symptomatic, whatever, blah, 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 with the 1-inch sensor, and they slap $4.99, $5.99 on it and create a whole new genre where they can slap us with different prices.
Just like they go way back, Bill. Once they started making the phone gimbals, they stopped making those.
Exactly right.
Oh,
but
the
the whole
mobile series
point
stuff, is that what killed it off?
We do know that there's an OM7 coming out.
Right. We just don't know if it's going to be before or after the Pocket.
Right.
It usually comes out in September, so it's late already.
Interesting.
Hey, one more. I don't want to go squirrel here, Bill, but
you
the
do.
1-inch sensor thing on the Pocket 3, even after Igor released those specs, there's still a whole bunch of people on the internet that think that's wrong. They still think it's going to be the 1/1/3. They think something got lost in translation. They don't believe
Could be
that what that's put on there.
Well, like I said, when I translated it, it said DI, and even in Chinese, DJI would it still be Chinese letters? Maybe so.
I don't know.
And remember, if it's not translated entirely, a 1-inch sensor is only a little bit bigger than a 1/1/3.
0.8 versus 1 inch.
So maybe they're rounding off there.
Yeah, that's
is that like a TV though? Just a small change in diagonal screen size makes a big difference in like the percentage.
Well, like we said, it would be
screen
more
size?
logical. It would be more logical because they bought a shitload of those sensors.
Yeah, the 1 1/3 makes more sense, but I would be happier with a 1-inch personally.
I think we all would. We all would.
Give me the 1/1/3 with
Or is that the Pocket
RYYB.
4 that they're just gonna like release in 6 months after the Pocket 3, like they did with Action 3 and Action 4? Those bastards.
Oh hell, wait! I'm waiting on the Air 2S right after Christmas, or something
You
like
mean
that.
3S?
Yeah.
Well,
the Air 3S.
You could Alltel making a handheld gimbal with the RYYB. Let Alltel jump into the fray here.
That's what Rod was talking about before you came in.
No, but I mean, let them not DJI use the RYYB. Alltel do it. They need more.
I think Alltel's done, and done.
Consumer. And they don't care about
I don't think that they're.
Remember
You
what
think-
I
you think
Stuff on sale now too.
remember what I said, Bill, though. Chip pricing and capacities by 2025 will come down to where these companies can order in such smaller quantities at a decent price that I think that's when some of these companies will jump back into the consumer market.
But
I think it's kind of on pause right at the moment.
Right.
But I thought that the drone division of Alltel was basically for his son, and eventually his son's going to get burned out on it and just say,
"Hello, you know how much money they're making in the enterprise on Autel? I mean, the Dragonfish is
I don't think they're making
$150,000 on the.
I get that, but I don't think they're making near as much money as they are off of their automotive products.
I agree, but they're still
They're
making a
separate
profit.
companies now, though. They're two separate companies, and they went IPO on both.
Oh, okay.
They're making money.
He's stuck there. I just don't. It doesn't seem to me like they're really innovating anything.
They are in the enterprise. They're putting it all in the enterprise. They're not doing anything in consumer, which is why I said I'm not sure what they're at the moment. I don't think they're going to do anything in consumer for some time.
So it's just like, it's difficult to keep, supporting them when basically consumer drone built this entire business.
Mm-hmm.
If it hadn't have been for consumer drones, somebody wouldn't have had a light bulb above their head and said, oh. But now suddenly they want to kind of push us all out of the sky.
Same could be said for manufacturing in the United States. I mean, we were pioneers of all this stuff with the Industrial Revolution and everything, and now we sold our souls and everything gets built outside the country out of the interest of greed.
We were still pioneers.
They started the drone industry. We, the working people, supported the growth of the drone industry, and now they're like, "Ooh, the real money is in enterprise." So
all their R&D.
Thank you very much for all your contributions to us to be awesome, and we don't care about you anymore.
All their R&D went into the 4 Max. Yeah. That's where their R&D went. Their R&D has been going into the enterprise zone, with the 4 Max being the one that they've really invested a lot of R&D time into. Yeah. So it's going to be a while before they probably. I think they'll come back and do consumer again
at the private chat, waiting on Dale's message to say, I gotta go home soon.
I don't know, man. Like it depends how well as remote IDs kicked in here in the States partially, then it's going to spread. Right? I mean, Steve, what are you guys doing up north? Like rules wise and stuff.
I think there are some new regulations coming down the pipe. I haven't paid attention to them. So far, we're just, sub 250 is like lawless, and
so
otherwise you have to register and take the courses and stuff.
Okay, because I was wondering like if Canada had any intention of picking up remote ID because I haven't heard here.
I don't know. I'm not even following that pipeline at all. So I could be, maybe it is coming down. I don't know.
But sub 250, I didn't realize this.
Sub 250
so if I go up to Canada,
West up there.
If
you got
I
past
go up,
their test, if you're from
if
the
I
US.
cross the border and I have my Mini 3 Pro with a standard battery and I'm sub 250, I can fly it up there.
I think the rules change. At one point I think you could, and then they made it where you had to get a special flight operation certificate, and then it was like you had to actually pass the basic exam and then get a special flight operation certificate. So I'm not even sure.
I'm just curious because I'm close enough. I'm close enough to you guys.
Yeah, you can go to Transport Canada website and you'll probably be able to track it down pretty easily. I can shoot you the link and you can.
You should do a video on that. But
I remember Lauren and them talking.
But you know what?
You got to get paperwork in Canada if you're not.
When are you going back to England, Chuck?
Couple weeks, but England was easy. I did it. In fact, I just did it last weekend. I had to retake the exam because I was 3 years in. Mine had expired, so I had to retake the exam as a flyer, and then pay my whatever it was £11 British to get my operator thing. And it took like less than an hour to do all that, and I did it all online. It was easy. I took the test and everything. It was a piece of cake. And
does that cover you in UK and Europe or just UK?
It's just UK. So for Iceland, they're part of the EU. So I did everything through Iceland, got on there, they had a test also. You study for the test, take the test. That was 40 US because everything's more expensive in Iceland. And that is like an EU certificate. They follow EU rules. So I'm wondering.
That's the series of your Iceland videos, Chuck. Everything's more expensive in Iceland.
Well, it's true. It's 100% true. I never seen a credit card bill so big as when I got back from Iceland. But anyway,
the bank said thank you.
But I'm wondering, if I can use my Icelandic EU, which lasts 5 years, anywhere in the EU. I don't know yet. I have to look into that.
The EU is under EASA rules. If you get it one place, you're covered through all of Europe.
So then, what I probably should have done was seen what it cost to do it, say, in Italy, and if it was cheaper in Italy than Iceland.
Yes. I've heard of some people doing that.
But it looked really cool to have the Icelandic flag on on a little piece of paper that I printed. Looked really bad.
I just think when you go back there, you need to do the video like Ian did. Then your trip will be a little more expensive. You remember what he did, Ron?
Into the volcano.
Into the volcano, exactly. He melted it one day and then did that video the next day.
That's your title for the video, Chuck. Into the volcano.
I went into a volcano actually, but it wasn't like that one. But anyway, that's another story. That's a vlog probably eventually. But no, I bought the volcano started erupting in like July, and we were heading over in August. So I immediately first booked a helicopter trip to go over the volcano, and I bought a Mini 3 Pro drone only refurbished for the purpose of being sacrificed, proper, like a Viking funeral, right? Viking funeral mode. I was going to fly it. I got the hack to fly the thing with FCC mode. I had it all ready to rip to go. If I couldn't hike close enough to the volcano, the drone was going there. I was going to get my shots and then have all the feed on the controller. And then if I lost it, okay, bye. But the volcano stopped erupting before I got there. So that blew that plan.
Did y'all see my cool shirt?
So I was ready.
Did y'all see my cool shirt? I know Chuck's ready. So did y'all see my cool shirt? I got it. They brought back.
You're lucky my cats aren't there because they'd be
the Gecko Company back in Hawaii.
You have a black light on?
No, it's called it's hyperactive material, and this is from my body heat. It changes color. Watch. Watch
I
where
thought
my
it was because you were
No,
hyperactive.
watch. No.
It
Watch.
was
Watch
like-
this. Watch. Now look where my hand was. It'll change, and then like if I
The
take it off,
80s,
it becomes like a light blue.
the 90s,
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
I
it.
used
They
to
brought
have-
back the company.
Oh, dude.
the hypercolor.
Do you remember
Yeah,
Degree?
Hypercolor.
Do you remember when Degree deodorant came out back like the 80s or whatever?
Remember Degree.
They
But
had
yeah,
a
they
free,
brought back
I have
the
a free
company.
T-shirt from Degree that was green and it would change color when it got hot.
Oh, wow.
But it's the same technology. And then there are shirts that like color themselves when they see UV. There's that company Solera or whatever, it sells T-shirts when you go on vacation, like in the Caribbean and stuff.
Yeah. Hey,
Cool,
excuse me,
though.
guys. I'm going to run. I got my
Yep.
stress test first thing in the morning, so
Let me see.
I'm
Don't
gonna
stress,
get my
dude.
rest tonight.
Oh,
I was gonna
yes,
say,
totally,
it's about that
yes.
time, Bill.
Stress
You know,
yourself,
four
Ron.
quick sniffs
So
and a sigh before you do it.
good night, everyone.
You're on.
Thanks
Yes,
for
yes, everybody
joining
sign
the
off.
panel tonight.
The high
Thanks for
sign.
everybody that joined us in the chat. Great group of people in the chat. As always, great comments. And who knows, next Wednesday we could be back here with the Pocket 3 Pro. So
Maybe.
Ooh, the Pocket Pro. See you later, Ron.
we'll see you next one.
Bye,
Yep.
Ron.
We're at about that stage anyway. As my
He's
daughter's
making
letting
me
me know.
salivate now.
I
It's
have
like,
things I
I
need
really,
to do.
really want a Pocket 3 so bad. It's like the
This
one
is
thing
the
that would
big
really.
one.
I'm still thinking.
Pick
I'm
on
still
Chuck's
thinking the
show.
end of the month. I think at the end of the month because,
Yeah.
like Dale was saying, they're gonna want people to have it through the holiday season so they can get all their little doodads and stuff shined up and thrown up and everything. And I've heard rumors there's some people being flown out to San Diego on the 25th for an event for somebody. So it could be, Skydio. It could be, I
I'm
don't
going
know.
to buy it in England. I have to buy it in England. Go to the DJI store and grab one.
So
Yeah, it
I-
kind of
London.
sucks, man. It kind of sucks.
I'll
to
vlog
just-
that shit. Here
I
I
go
am
to
live
Boise
at the
Boise
DJI
tomorrow.
store in London buying.
What
my
did Dale?
Pocket
Dale, what'd
3.
you say, Dale?
I go to Boise tomorrow, and I decided at the last minute today when somebody told me that a bunch of the Prime stuff was on sale, so I bought a DSL camera and just having it next day shipped to there, so that I could use it tomorrow in Boise.
Nice. You can be comfortable using it even though it's brand new, because like sometimes cameras have a little bit of a learning curve, a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
You know what I mean?
I've had mirrorless before. It's maybe
Yeah.
going to take me a little bit. I won't use
Auto.
It works
Oh
great.
God, no, auto nothing. But it's like it does take time to get comfortable.
White
with tech
balance,
before you-
5800. You're good to go.
Yeah, right, exactly.
the inside.
There's more to it than that, but I mean, but that's
Don't worry about anything else.
That's so funny.
Dude,
that
no,
was
the-
hilarious. He'd been waiting all night to pull that out.
I know. Good one, Stevie. He held back. That is part of it, though. Locking white balance is critical.
All right,
It'll be
gentlemen.
inside, so it'll be good.
Yeah.
So I won't have any
Absolutely.
issues there.
It's fantastic having each and every one of you on here, but I have duties I must attend to before I wish to sleep in my own bed tonight. So
Not in the shed.
yeah, at least not on the couch because I'll stay up watching TV all night
Doghouse.
long.
In the doghouse.
Yeah. So with that being said,
Did he drop?
he may have dropped or whatever, but I was going to roll around and let everybody say if they had anything coming up and going on their channel. Chuck, starting with you, what's coming up on your channel?
I'm fighting to finish up a New York vlog. We'll see if it happens or not. That's
What
the
is it?
goal.
What's it? This is New York. Is that what it is? No, what
Welcome
is
to
it?
New York.
Welcome to New York. I keep getting them
Playing off
confused.
Taylor Swift.
I
yeah.
keep getting them confused. Taylor who? Taylor
Yeah,
Swift.
her.
All
That
right,
was Lori's
and
idea.
Steve, what's up with you?
What's up with me? Well, I just unboxed my Mini 4 Pro the other day, so I'm deep in testing mode now. I was going to do comparisons today,
Uh-huh.
but I couldn't get one prop off.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Never happened
Steve,
before.
what screwdriver are you using? The DJI
Uh,
one, or you should buy one from somebody. that's
Precision
better.
screws, probably.
I have a Klein Tools one.
There you go. That's
Um,
better.
I
They should
couldn't-
get it off.
Oh
Nope.
wow.
I totally
Oh,
trashed it.
Jesus.
So I'm going to Dremels next, and I might do a video about it.
Oh wow. Very cool.
Ouch, that sucks. But yeah,
Yeah, it sucks that
It's
happens,
not
but if it
gonna
works
happen.
out, it'll be 1 million views. Because there's a bunch of people with drones.
It's a
thrown in the
problem.
closet.
but it's a problem where people have stripped out the screws with the DJI screwdriver instead buy
I've
like
had
a
lots of
Klein or
comments
something.
on a propeller change video that people have had trouble with
Oh,
the Mini 3 Pro
Steve,
especially. So.
Steve.
Yeah.
If you have a problem, take it to, of all places, take it to an eyeglass shop they have the screw to do the reverse to pull it out. I had that
That's a good
problem.
idea.
I snapped
good
one
thought.
off on my Autel smart controller, and the screw was still stuck inside. And I took it to the iGas place, and they have the little device to reverse it.
I have an idea.
And
Genius
pull
idea.
it out.
Yeah,
So
thanks
one
for
of
that.
I have
those
an idea.
stores have the tool to pull it.
Go check.
If you don't give a shit about the DJI screwdriver, you could super glue it to the screw and then back it out and throw that shit out. It's like a 49
take
cent
it to the
screwdriver.
iGas place. They'll use the little device to reverse
You're right.
it out.
You're right. The eye doctor. The thread at
Because the
iGas
eye
place
doctors
has
do
the
it with
stuff.
glasses all the time, where the screw
Yeah.
snaps off inside.
I don't know if I can make a video about that though.
Probably. If just say, hey, do you mind if I film
Anyways,
this? And they'll be
Bill,
like,
in
Look,
2
like-
weeks, the 28th and 29th, we have a surfing competition here in
All right.
Flagler. So hopefully I'll put some video up from that.
Oh, super cool. That would be awesome. Okay. And I don't have anything coming up except probably my first flight of the Mini 4 Pro, which I have some ideas on how I'm going to do that, but we'll have to see if I actually do it or not. So somebody, maybe you all guys could prod me in the chat on good weather up here, because right now it's kind of rainy and crappy.
Yeah.
So
we got
the
rain
one-
too.
Yeah. So it says, Chuck, just don't worry. It's coming that way and it's going to be nice. We had a nice wash. A nice wash.
we're gonna lose all our
today.
leaves before they even change. It's gonna make me sad.
Yeah,
Oh.
but anyway, so thank
Yeah.
you everyone that was here and has been here off and on through the night and stuck with us with all our wild and craziness. And we will be back next week with more wild and craziness about drones and probably some stuff that has absolutely nothing to do with drones, because this is drone therapy and it's not just a drone show. Live long and prosper.
Squirrel
Later.
therapy. Squirrel therapy.
We'll
Peace
see you.
out.